Y'all doing all right today?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. I'm glad to hear that. Now, before I begin, I've got to do something really fast. I saw quite a few heads bobbing this morning as Ricky Smalls was bumping in the sanctuary. Do you guys like poetry? Do you guys like hip hop? Do you guys like bars? You do?
I got bars.
Now, wait a minute, this is a football team. I was expecting something a little louder. Do you guys like that or not? Yes or no?
Sir.
Okay. Well, I'm actually a world champion of poetry, and depending on who you ask, maybe I have bars. Maybe I have bars too. Okay. We'll see. E equals MC squared. Like a test, I got them boys scared. Okay. Spit flames with no practice. Common sense is not common practice. I keep count like an abacus. Okay. More precision than a mathematician as I triangulate on your position. Oh. My flow is deep like underground rivers, subterranean, flesh and bone, but my hammers hit hard like titanium. Okay. I'm burning through these bars like acid. Messing with me is like swimming in Lake Placid. Your rhymes are weak, they go hard like plastic. Oh. Less is more, that's pithy, petty. People can miss me. I've been allergic to average since I came out of my carriage. They gave me more books than toys, so I handle my business with equipoise. I don't talk trash and make much noise. I'm a king without a crown. I'm a lord without a ring. I am the change that changed everything. Real quick, I want to speak to you guys. My name is Emmett Shankle. I'm an inspirational speaker, and I have a self-defense consultancy. Before all that came, I was sitting in schools, chairs, and desks just like you guys, wondering what the future would hold for me. See, this is a condition called Hubris palsy. I don't know if you know it or not, but that made me a target for years. Bullies in school? Please. I was surrounded by bullies in a parking lot. My siblings had to come to my aid. So it doesn't matter if I was at a new school or old school, I always had somebody had something to say. And that's okay, because that made me the man that I am today. The scripture says that the meek shall inherit the earth. And you guys have to understand what that means. The meek shall inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth. What does that mean? Well, that doesn't mean that they're shy and they don't, no. That means they have the ability to act and they choose not to. So I can get it, not just verbally, but physically. This is a brown belt. My black belt in martial arts in 30 years, it doesn't go around my waist. It goes right here. So it didn't matter what they called me or what they said. I knew that I had purpose on my life because they didn't know my story. I'm going to tell you my story. When I was born, the doctors told my parents that he's not going to make it through the night. Your son has a very, very, very traumatic birth. We do not expect him to survive. And even if he does survive, it will take a miracle. But more importantly, due to the lack of oxygen to his brain, he'll be severely retarded. He won't have the ability to learn like other kids because his brain is not like other kids. He has severe cognitive deficits. So when he goes to school, the teachers will have to spend extra time with him because he can't learn like other kids. So after hearing this, I'm pretty sure my parents did what most parents would do. They consoled each other through the tears as they cried. And then they began to pray. They began to pray for the impossible. They began to pray for a miracle. And God gave them one. Does that mean my life was easy? No. No, of course not. No, you're talking to a man that was pushed in a pool at 6 years old and almost drowned. You're talking to a man that at one point had more bullies than friends. You're talking to a man that turned those bullies into buddies. Because I made them realize it's what's on the inside that counts. So I challenge you guys, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to be, go serve somebody. Solve a problem. Because we need that. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but there's not a shortage of followers in the world. Just check social media. We got millions of followers. We could use a few more leaders. We could use some leaders. We could use some people that are about the message and not about the money. We could use some people that have a relationship with God as opposed to the religion. So, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to work at Easton.
Good. What do you want to be? It's okay. You don't know? It's okay. Don't sleep on your dreams. Okay? What do you want to be? It's okay. How about you? How about you, sir? NFL player, what position? Safety. Okay. How about yourself? Okay. You have time, but do not sleep on your dreams, guys. Your mom, your dad, your teachers, your preachers, they all love you. They all want you to succeed. But you got to put in the work. You got to grind. You got to grind harder than the other guy. When the other guy is working, you're working. When he's tired, you're working. When he goes on break, you're working. When he goes to sleep, you're working. At 5 o'clock in the morning, when he's still asleep, guess what? You're working. When game day gets here, he's losing. You'll win. See, that's the difference, guys. Lots of people will say, I want to do something. I want to be something. That's cool. Want is not will. Will always conquer want. Period. All day and twice on Sunday. So you have to be committed to that. You have to take a proactive stance on your future and participate now. So if you want to be an engineer, you want to be an NFL player, a doctor, a lawyer, contact somebody that's doing it right now. Ask them what they love about their job, what they hate about their job. Ask them about the travel. Ask them about the money. Is it worth it? Because in order to know the road ahead, you need to ask those coming back. That's a Chinese proverb, guys. So, raise your hand if you have a little brother, little sister. Okay, just about everybody in here. You want them to be happy, healthy, and successful, yes? I'm sorry, yes?
Yes, sir.
All right then. You would do anything in your power to make sure they're happy and healthy and successful. Aside from your little brother and your little sister, there's many young women and young men that are going to be looking up to you one day, if they're not already. We need examples of what excellence looks like. That's you. Within the next 3 to 5 years, I want to see your names in the newspaper. I want you to change the world because I know how important you are. You may not know how important you are, but everybody else here knows how important you are. For those people that are in a dark cave and they can't get out, they can't find the light at the end of the tunnel. They don't know that that light is inside of them. They're looking for that flame, and that flame produces light. That flame doesn't know how important it is. That flame is only designed to do one thing: burn. That's it. You guys are the light. You are the light of the world. You got to let the world know who you are. You got to come out swinging with both barrels. You can't be subtle. You have to be straightforward. You have to be strong. Make sure that you're humble. Don't go around walking around with your chest pumped up, arrogant and cocky. You got plenty of people like that. And here's the thing, I don't know if you know it or not, humility will always beat out hubris. Hubris is arrogance. Folks, that I'm the best, and I'm always gonna be the best. When you're the best, you don't have to say it. When you're the best in the world, everybody else, the world, will say it. Make your mom and dad proud, make your community proud, because we need that. We have so many young people making poor decisions. One decision is all it takes, and you turn your life around. I was 19 years old, fresh out of high school, going to college. I didn't have anybody's job. A few months earlier, my teacher asked me to write a poem. A couple months later, she comes back and says, "Congratulations, Emmett, you're a published author." Okay, cool. Totally oblivious to what God had in store for me that day. A few days went by and people started cutting out these newspaper articles, these clippings, talking about these big, fancy poetry competitions. So, yeah, okay, cool, I'll check them out. So I realized it's a $600 registration fee. I don't have a job, I don't have that kind of money. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. Never let money stop you from achieving your goals and your dreams. So I decided to write a poem and practice that poem in churches. Churches gave me love offerings, and that's how I got my airfare, hotel, and my $600 registration. Well, it worked the first time, and second, and the third time. Third time is time to grow up, time to be a man, go to school, get a degree, get a job. So I wanted to go to one more poetry competition. Same strategy. I write a poem, I go speak, I get paid, then I go on a trip. Everything was working fine. I booked everything, my airfare, my hotel, everything was on lock. Everything's on point. 24 hours later, the hotel calls me back. "Hi, this is Chad, we're looking for Emmett." I said, "Speaking." "Yes, this is Chad with such and such hotel. We were just giving you a call because there was a glitch made yesterday. We're calling about your reservation. See, in Texas, you're an adult, you're considered an adult by law. But we're a gambling state here in Nevada. And because of our gambling laws, you're still a minor. So we're not gonna be able to hold that hotel room for you. We have to let your reservations go. We just want to give you a courtesy call." So I was hurt. I was crushed. What was I gonna tell all these people that gave me all this money, that believed in me, to go miles and out of state from here? What was I gonna tell them? I didn't take it well. It hurt. I was absolutely lost for words, because I didn't know what I would say the next time I saw them. Well, God had a plan. My sister called me that evening. She says, "Hey, little brother, what's up?" "Nothing, what's up?" "Wow, what's wrong with you?" "Well, I was supposed to go to this poetry competition, my last one before I go to Kilgore College, and it doesn't look like I'm gonna make it. I'm not old enough." She says, "Well, I got some time off. I can go on vacation maybe 2-3 days and fly down from Anchorage, Alaska, and I'll be your chaperone." Trip was back on. So we get there the first day of competition. Go to this nice hotel room. It's about 100 people, 100 chairs in there. I'd say about 30 people. So they call out my name. I walk down the center. I go around this table, and I give my poem. I had a big table right here, and a nice fancy podium and lectern right here. So I put the poem down and just read the poem. No problem. They dismiss us. On the way out, the guy hands me an envelope. I read the envelope. "Congratulations, you made it to the semifinals. Report to this room, 9 o'clock sharp tomorrow morning." So I'm like, okay, cool. Day 2 of the competition. Me and my sister there, we're hanging out, having a good time. Game time, competition. Same thing yesterday. I hear my name called, walk down the center, go around the table, put my poem on this giant podium right here, and I give them a little bit more energy. This time, they politely clap. I get an envelope on dismissal. "We would like you to join us for our banquet tomorrow." So they have this lavish banquet, huge coliseum, 50-foot ceiling, track lighting all everywhere. It looks like the ocean. Giant red curtain that seems to go on forever. And they got us a 5-star meal. So we finally get to this dessert portion of the meal, and the host says, "And now the moment you've all been waiting for." So I didn't have New York style cream cheesecake. That was my first time having it. Man, bomb.com, I ain't even playing with you, yo. Seriously, bro, get on it. I'm over here chowing down. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. I didn't hear my name called. My sister nudged me. He's like, oh my God, Emmett, they called your name. And I had a moment, kind of like one of those Fortnite moments. Oh my God, are you serious right now? Why are you playing? I thought we talked about, do not interrupt me when I'm eating my cheesecake. Seriously? Yeah. So I had a little moment. And then I was like, oh, shoot. So I get up and it takes me 10 minutes to walk to the other side of this room. That's how massive it is. That's how big it is. All right? I finally get there and I'm port number 13. There's 13 ports, I'm port number 14. So I'm shaking hands, congratulations, congratulations. I look around and all of a sudden there's a swarm of people and they all want the autograph. People from around the world. The only thing I could understand in English was autograph. China, Germany, Russia, Poland, Japan, Sri Lanka, Taiwan, just flooding, surrounded, autograph. So I'm signing autographs, I'm signing autographs. Finally, everybody goes to their seat. The people that put this poetry competition on, they didn't know how big it was gonna be, because they didn't have anybody security at all. So everyone finally gets to the seat, and they start calling out the poets. And they say, now we're gonna have each poet come out and read their poetry. Head to head. So I was like, okay, cool. I was sitting there and I was like, okay, I'm gonna roar my poem from the stage. I got this fire inside of me. Yeah, let's get it. Oh, let's find a dandy on paper. Because when I got up there, I walked up those steps and I looked out into the audience and I saw something I'd never seen before. There's one lone microphone with a bright white light shining down on it. That means it just got real, because the first 2 days, I had a place where I could sit my poem down. And there's no problem, because I could read the poem off the page. Now you're asking me to do something I'm not ready to do. You're asking me to perform the poetry without the paper, or hold the paper. That's not how I get out with mine. I'm visual. I express my poetry with my hands, my eyes, everything. And now it's a problem because there's no place to put my poem. So immediately I got scared. Started shaking like a leaf. I knew I had 20 steps before I got to that microphone. All or nothing. Go hard or go home. I took those 20 steps, frantically reading that poem. I set that poem down as slow as I could, give me a few seconds to read it even more. I stood up, and right before I got ready to speak, something else happened. I realized that this microphone is so expensive, the audience can literally hear the breath I'm breathing. So I'm in full-blown panic mode. I'm like, God, I can't do this. And he says, yes, you can. I said, I can't read this poem in front of all these people. He says, don't read it to all these people. Just read it to one person. Just one. And I said, God, who? My mother? She's not here. She's miles away. She's in Texas. I'm in Reno, Nevada. And he says, a piece of your mother is here. Read it to your sister. About that time, I looked to the left, and I see a giant billboard, monitor the size of a billboard, with my head and shoulders on it. And at that moment, God said, you can't see her, but she can see you. So every stumbling block that I set upon myself turned into a stepping stone. So I closed my eyes and just gave it to God. And I did this poem called Conflict. It's about the flesh and the spirit, how they're in a perpetual battle, a never-ending battle of good and evil. There's a little bit of heaven and hell in all of us. There's a little bit of good and evil in all of us. And that first line of that poem goes like this: Dear God, how could you curse me with this thing? My son, I've given you a song to sing. And it just goes back and forth. That was the first time I actually did the poem with my eyes closed, unaware that symbolically it's walking by faith and not by sight. Because when we operate under a spirit of flesh, we're lost to a certain extent. When we utilize our spirit, we come enlightened. We grow, we adapt, we learn. So I finished the poem, and the worst thing that can ever happen to a person on stage happened to me. No, they didn't boo. No. If you boo, then that means they don't like you. That's easy. Worst thing that ever happened? Dead silence. There's no babies crying, nobody's clapping, I mean nothing. Instantly, I attack myself. Oh my God, I just bombed in front of all these people. I am so embarrassed. Oh, I will never speak in public again. I swear on everything, I will never, ever. Why did I even try? And I thought for a second, I wonder if they'll finish reading the poem. I said 2 words. I leaned to the microphone and I said, thank you. Table of 8 people on the far right stood up and started clapping. Another table, another table, another table, another table, another table, another table, another table. Before long, I got a standing ovation from a record-breaking crowd of 20,000 people from around the world. And to this day, I still have questions because the poem was only 2.5 minutes long. What did I say? More importantly, what did they hear? Because in 2.5 minutes, everybody in that room, they were doing 2 things. Number 1, they were standing to their feet. Number 2, they all had tears streaming down their face. And that day, I said, wow. Oh my God. I don't know what that was, but when I get back home, I'm gonna go to school and get a degree and get a job because I have a better shot at predicting that as opposed to letting go and let God. Because you have a career and you have a calling. So there's a difference between a career and a calling. Career is what you do to get money. That's how you pay your bills. A calling, that's something you're born to do. You're born to do this. Few people in the world, no one else in the world can do what you can do the way you can do it. That's called a gift. When you practice and hone in on that gift, the gift transforms into a skill. So when you have that skill, you can literally change the world, one person at a time. So what problems are you going to solve? Who are you going to help? 10 years from now, students graduating from this school will know you as, when you work at Eastman, you're going to come back, you're going to speak to the students. They're going to buy your jersey. You're going to give some of them jobs. This is what we're going to do, guys. That's the plan. So, before I close out, are there any questions this morning? Don't be shy. Any questions? Okay. Yes.
How long did it take you to get into poetry?
My teacher in high school asked me to write a poem, and back then I didn't know anything about poetry. I thought that all poetry has to rhyme, and my first poem did rhyme, but my poetry doesn't all rhyme. I rhyme for people in public, but privately, I do all kinds of poetry. Some poetry that is like a lost art. So when I actually do the poetry, I perform it and I make it come alive off the page. So it starts out with words, and then I put energy behind it, and then it goes into a skit, a play, a short film, a movie, whatever. So for me, poetry, it's not just stuff that rhymes. Rhyming is cool when you're in public. There's some people that love poetry that doesn't rhyme at all. Like Phillis Wheatley, Langston Hughes, Shakespeare, T.S. Eliot. Raise your hand if you heard of any of those people. Okay, cool. I always have to check the temperature. I always have to see who I'm rolling with, what kind of power we got in the room. Any other questions? Don't be shy. Go for it. Question, sir? All right, guys, before I close out, may I keep another verse? My freestyle ain't free. When I spit bars, they call it poetry. Follow me as I take you to your leader. No 40-ounce flow here, I kick knowledge by the leader. And I'll increase to the gallon, you can find me on Jimmy Fallon. See, I'm hot like that fire, that's that thermogenesis. The epidemic of ignorance is my nemesis. Empower other people, that's my emphasis. In the dark, I move towards the stillness. People will always fear your realness. You must learn to put yourself first and not last. Surround yourself with people that have class. Tough times never last, but tough people do. That's Robert Schuller, and it's nothing new. So you stop when you get tired, I stop when I'm done. I'm here to work, and you're here to have fun, because I give it to you straight, by chapter and verse. You don't even know the book, man, that's the worst. Ooh. DM to the author of pain in my life. So you thought you had me, think twice. I am the architect of this word that is spoken. My poetry has emphysema, because it be smoking. Off the page, I'm no sage. Warrior of wisdom, this I am. All day like Kanye. What up, fam? So your best shot can't even get near me. I live my life by example, exemplary, free from a cage of rage. Precision as I attack the stage. Savage with this mic in hand. Yeah, baby. I'm a classic man. Okay. Before the song, I knew right from wrong. I stay clean like I just left the haberdashery. It's a dirty game, so I'm dastardly, but only when I have to be. I change the game, so they gonna have to get at me. Paraplaxis is a 40 and slip of the tongue. Believe me when I say you don't want none. I flip the script and pull the lever. Few rhymes are ever this clever. My ending is your beginning, so this mic I dropped, just know one thing, I can't be stopped. Got it. Thank you.
Ignorant.
Now we gotta go away.
You know what time it is?
First shirt, nobody else.